everyone. And we are live with Lionel. And I know many of you have missed the synergy of our energy, folks, but he is back with a vengeance after having Candace Owens on his channel. If you missed that one, as well as Lionel's subscription to his YouTube link in the description box, I've also put the link to the Candace Owens interview. It's a must-see. He gets a side out of her I've never seen before. And the way she looks at him when they're first live together, like when the Cat in the Hat arrived at the front door, it's great.
Like the way you looked at me. The first time I talked to you, you said, what the hell is this guy talking? What the hell?
Goddamn Jesus.
We're going to make, you're like this closet redneck from like Valdosta, Georgia. We're going to, I don't know where you never knew you had this in you. You know, I have this crazed Irish guy from Buncrana in me that comes out every now and then. But you're like from Chipley. You're a shit kicker from down south. But anyway, good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, and today we are going to be talking about what Lionel has been talking about a lot lately, which is the Candace Owens theories of Charlie Kirk assassination, the Tyler Robinson hearing, Turning Point USA, the corruption, and it's just Alice in Wonderland over there, isn't it, Lionel?
The word is concatenation. There are layers upon layers and strata, and where would you like to go? The best part is, and you know a little bit, you have a certain propensity, a propinquity, a predilection, a predisposition for understanding those things juridical. But when it comes to the case itself, I just want you to imagine this. I'm a trial lawyer. I'm a former prosecutor. I don't know what you call them in there. I'm a prosecutor, a barrister, whatever your version of it is. And I look at things very, very matter of fact. And if you came to me as a client, you say, listen, I just am terrible. They say, whoa, wait. Can they prove it? No, no problem. Yeah, but I did it. No, that's for you to decide. I'm your defense lawyer. I'm saying they can't prove it. They can't do it. That's all I care about. I'm trying to create reasonable doubt. I'm not trying to say who really did do it, who really did kill Charlie. But if I represented Tyler, first of all, just my first mention to the jury is, look at this guy. Go ahead. Take a look. This is the greatest sniper who's ever, this guy, this mastermind decided one day, I'm going to throw my life away. His biggest decision during the week is, should I go to Dairy Queen or should I go to the mall? This guy's a jadrul. He's an idiot. Look at him. Take a look at him. I'm serious. I'll be sorry, Tyler. But you know, he looks like he's got a couple of chromosomes missing. This is the guy? Okay, fine. So anyway, let's imagine this. I don't know what kind of setup this is. Maybe you like it. That's okay. I like this. Let's assume, Sean, that you and I are in there and you're the prosecutor. And I ask this question, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what did my client kill Charlie with? What was it? What can the prosecutor prove? Well, they found a rifle. Good. It's a Mauser 98. Interesting. Think it was his grandpappy's shooting iron. All right. And there was DNA on it. Okay. Not only DNA from Tyler, but DNA from his furry. Now, you know about this because when it comes to perversion and leather bars and that sick, seamy underbelly of society, you and your crew would know this. But have you ever heard of a furry, a woolly bully, or whatever they see? They wear a furry hat. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, they're into dressing up like furry animals, and they've got their own music called Furry Core.
See, I knew you'd know that. I'm sure your research. Yeah. Let me tell you if those pictures ever surfaced from you in the late 60s. But anyway,
and the fox.
So this roommate, his DNA is on the rifle, and 5 other people. Now, before we get into this, most people would say, is this the rifle that killed Charlie Kirk? Doesn't that make sense to you? They found a rifle. Is this the rifle? Before we get to, did he own it? Did he have it? Is this the rifle? You keep talking about this rifle. What if there was a musket or a bazooka that they found covered in DNA? What good would that do? He wasn't shot with a bazooka. wasn't shot with a musket. Who the hell cares? So the question is this? Well, the ATF, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, our federal, like the FBI for guns, said inconclusive. You know what that means? That's what that means. Inconclusive. Nothing. Sean, this is a lint brush. This has nothing to do with a murder either. This is also inconclusive. There's no weapon. I can say, can we go to the jury room now? What are they supposed to do? Listen, overlook that fact. Well, how did he kill him? Well, we don't even know. But just overlook that. Let's just move on. Wait a minute. What did he kill him with? Don't worry about that. But they found his DNA on it. Again, I go back. What if there was a bazooka? What if there was a crossbow with DNA? This is the main problem. This is like, we don't even talk about it. Nobody's talking about it here. Nobody. So that's point number one. Point number two, let's assume this thing really did do it. Now, you don't have to be an expert in this, but are you familiar with the caliber around a 30-06?
Yeah.
It's a 30 caliber. Okay. This thing is used like big game hunting. I mean, this is you drop a wildebeest with this thing, and it's serious. It's serious. Okay, Charlie, without going into detail, you've probably seen this a million times. There's a little hole here, but it's surprisingly there was a bit of an exsanguination, if you will, but there was it all, and that was it. Okay. Now, everybody, and I mean everybody, military, hunters, sportsmen, gun enthusiasts say a 30-06 does not leave a little hole like that. It just doesn't. Without going into with the specifics, normally it, you know what I mean? I mean, it's bad. Okay. That's another problem. Now, we have to figure out, how did he get this thing up there? He had the rifle. He took it apart, assuming all this passes, evidentiary muster. He took it apart, put it back together again, stuck it down his pants. He kept he would break it down with a screwdriver, put it back together again. And Sean, every time you do this, the scope has to be recentered. This is his first time hit as a sniper. I don't know how many times he's practiced this. There's also something interesting. On this model of rifle, this Mauser, there's a safety switch. You have to flip this thing up in order to fire it. The scope gets in the way of it. You can't fire it. Now, they also tried to find it. And eventually the FBI said, it's over here. They have dogs that detect smells from gun detection dogs. Sean, these dogs can smell a fish fart. I mean, they are so good. They're walking around like, where is it? Where is it? Over here. We don't smell anything, meaning it wasn't fired. Next, did they do a GSR test? A gun residue test. Any kind of, residue, any kind of see on his cheek, or because where you would shoot it, his hands, his cheek. No. So let me recap this, okay? Imagine this. I'm going to put you in prison for the rest of your life, up to and including, perhaps they have firing squads in Utah. Firing squad. He's a patsy, all right, Pinky. He's a patsy. So they're going to talk about a firing squad potentially with a gun that is not linked to him, that can't be fired, that had to be taken apart I don't know how many times, from a guy who doesn't even, he's not really that proficient of a marksman. We don't even know if it was fired or what year it was fired. And that's part of it. Now, that's the gun part. I'd say that's not guilty right there. Sean, let me try this again. You're in the jury room and you turn to your fellows and say, well, what do we do? Well, we find him guilty of what? of shooting with what? Something. What? They kept showing that gun. That's not the one. Well, it's inconclusive. So that's not guilty right there. But let's go further. They said, yeah, but he confessed. Okay, here we go. What happened was, and it's hard to understand this because he hasn't really, we don't know, he hasn't spoken to anybody yet. He has a right to remain silent under our Fifth Amendment. But the story is his parents or somebody were watching TV and he says, hey, that looks like Granddaddy's gun. Is that? I'll be a god. Is that you? That looks like Tyler. Tyler, is that you? We got to do something. So they pick up the phone and they call up a sheriff who has since retired. They said, what do we do? They said, you better turn him in because he's guilty. No. So that some gun crazy, trigger happy fool doesn't just end it as they always do. Remember in Butler, Pennsylvania, when President Trump was hit in the ear, the guy, there were two shots. One was from the sniper and the second one taking the sniper out. This guy showed up miraculously taking out the sniper. Where was he the whole time? I don't know. But once the sniper did his job, then we take him out. Lee Harvey Oswald, take him out. Patsy, take him out. Somehow, Tyler kind of slipped through the cracks. He wasn't supposed to be here. There were two different confessions. One was going to be where he said, I can't take it. I can't live in prison. I can't do this. Meaning setting him up for perhaps maybe his own expurgation, if you will. Well, that didn't work. So then they changed it. So anyway, so he shows up, and now follow me on this. He goes to the sheriff's office, turns himself in, and guess what? He doesn't confess. When was the last time somebody be turned? You go, hey, Sean, I want you to turn yourself in and tell him. No, don't tell him you did anything. Just turn yourself in. Hello, I'm Sean Atwood. I'm turning myself in. For what? I'd rather not say. Well, what is it? It's a crime, but I don't want to tell you. We're going to hold you? Yes. And I'm guilty of what? I'd rather not say. So all right, we'll hold them. For what? I don't even. So they gave him Miranda. You know, an American, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be, the Miranda warning. Miranda against Arizona. Okay. They Mirandized him, and he never confessed. He turned himself in. And I can imagine some guy saying, "What you in for?" I'd rather not say. Okay. Well, why are you here? I turned myself in. Why? Because I'm afraid he's going to walk out of his house and see all these red dots on him. And they're going to say, I'm safer in jail. I'm serious. He never confessed. Now, there's a fellow named Baron Coleman who was phenomenal. There's so many of these, Sean, I don't know where these folks came from, but they're like deep divers. Somebody found out, I think he found out that an hour after he's in jail and he's arrested, they take his phone away. He's admitting to this on Discord. He's admitting it to his group after he's in there. He won't tell anybody anything. He won't tell the cops diddly, but he told us, oh, by the way, don't tell anybody. My bad. Then he gets a hold of his lover, furry, fuzzy, Lancelot Twiggs, the guy's name is, and he says, "Look under the keyboard. I left a note. Read it and then get rid of it." Texting him. So he reads it. He goes, "Oh my God! Now burn it." They burn it, but before he burns it, he takes a picture of it. Now, the trial is great. We don't have evidence. We have a picture of something that we had before. So we get into all kinds of authentication issues and 14th Amendment stuff. And I just can't say, here's a screenshot. No. Objection, Your Honor. Where's the screenshot from? Oh, it's a phone. How do I know? We also find out that Fuzzy Wuzzy, the girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever this they thing is, he apparently had access to his accounts as well. So he could be typing away. So this is an evidentiary thing. So the bottom line is, to whom did he confess what? We don't know. Now he's sitting there looking kind of a little pazzo, a little, as we say in South Bronx, a little shingad. He's I don't know. I've never heard him speak. I don't know what his story is. But then he writes letters. And his text messages, one guy said, one was great. He said that it sounded like somebody who English as a second language, like ChatGPT. He's got commas and periods. This guy's never, Gen Zers or whatever, right? The LOL, JYU for what is this? This guy's writing like Robert, like George Bernard Shaw, these prosaic. It's like he didn't write this. Somebody did this. So anyway, so that's that. Then we have just these other issues. Now, we have recently, and up to now, people haven't been talking about this. One's a fellow named Rob O'Neill, former SEAL Team 6 sniper, the guy who supposedly dispatched bin Laden. He said, he's saying, this is a joke. This is a joke. Another retired brigadier general, this Blaine Holt, said, this is a joke. Everybody, hunters, everybody said, this story doesn't make any sense. Then he calls this an exit wound. Now, one thing for your listeners, and I understand the sensibilities of YouTube, I'm not going to go crazy here. But as you probably know, when you're talking about things like drug convictions or homicide, you get very technical. What is it? Drink driving, as you would say. What did he blow? What was the blood alcohol? Did you take it? Was it calibrated? How many grams of or milliliters of grams of ethyl alcohol per 100 deciliters of alcohol? I mean, there's all kinds of. And when it comes to homicide, you've got ballistics, you've got medical examiners, you've got eyewitnesses, you've got all of the things that accompany this. At every level, it doesn't make any sense. So this Navy SEAL says that this was an exit wound. Now work with me on this. You are Tyler Robinson. I'm Charlie Kirk. You're shooting me this way. How the hell is this an exit wound? What, to go around and loop around and come out the back? Like the magic bullet in Dallas? It doesn't make any sense. Did you know that days after this crime scene, they paved it over? The whole thing, paved it. I would have gone over with a vacuum cleaner and make sure, hey, what's this? I think, hey, it's a bullet. Not them. The SUV that carried him in, the SUV that I think they sold it or cleaned it, just like with JFK, just like this. You can't believe this. Now, nobody's listening to this because they're too busy hating on Candace. So Candace came up with the idea as an hypothesis, not as an accusation, but a hypothesis. Could Charlie have been wearing a portable kind of a lavalier, kind of a Rode microphone that had a shaped charge? Just a thought. Some people thought maybe it did because all of a sudden, did you see the way this shirt is like, what's this? What's this thing? Bullet's coming this way. What's all this? And believe it or not, in homicide cases, it's about momentum and inertia and gravity and things that we all are aware of. That's a very critical part of this. They're making her out to be, that's the most crazy thing in the world. Why? Now, I don't know. I'm not an expert. But recapping this, you don't have a gun. You don't really have a confession. And then we're not even sure if the guy was even there. Here's the best part. They show pictures. You know that picture of Nessie? You know the famous Loch Ness Monster? You ever see that thing? It's like, what is that? That's a Loch Ness Monster. No, it's not. It looks like the Tootsie Roll in Caddyshack, floating, and you know what I mean? I'm looking at what the hell is that? That's a Loch Ness Monster. And that's the only picture you ever see. And it gets worse over time. Grainy. Remember the Sasquatch, Abominable Snowman, Sasquatch? He's walking. It was probably the guy's wife looking like this. That was a better picture. This grainy, what is this? What is this? Because that's Tyler. I can't see him. Yeah, you can. Look, here, let me zoom it into 4K. Now the pixels are like this. So it's worse. It's worse because, like, you know how when you go to a mosaic, you got to step back. You don't go up to it and say, oh, now I see what it is. No, because it's a Tyler. There he goes. That's Tyler Robinson. What is that thing? It's a dinosaur. That is the only picture. That is like a Norman Rockwell painting compared to the one that we've got. Nobody knows it. So anyway, so one of these self-appointed guys, this guy Joe or this guy Jack, probiotic or proboscis or something. He says, I was sitting in the courtroom. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. I saw the clarity, and we saw Tyler Robinson in a prone position take out Charlie Kirk, and it was awful. I don't know if I can sleep. Everybody said, what are you talking about? The video that we saw. I was there. I didn't see the video. You saw the video? What was the video? And then these news organizations say, no, they didn't. So now we have people. I'm not saying people are lying, but they may be in a different courtroom. I guess. Now, in the meantime, there he is. That's him. That's the man. By the way, you know what the story is? That supposedly is the wife of the guy who took that picture, because look how apes don't stand up straight like that. She's just pissed off. Goes, put this thing on and take the picture. All right. And he had the anyway, great picture. This is Tyler Robinson. That's him on top of the thing. It's you can't believe this. So anyway, so we have this hearing the other day, and we have Erica Kirk. Now, Erica makes Meghan Markle look like Mother Teresa. This woman is such. I don't want to use any. I know you don't curse, but she is so foolish. It's just. I mean, she is so insincere. Days after, I want you to imagine this. God forbid, everybody watching, the millions and millions watching right now. I want you to imagine your spouse, your husband, has just been cut down. I mean, cut down, dispatched in front of everybody. You're traumatized. You can't believe it. You can't see straight, think straight, sleep, eat. You're just. She's in the I guess the funeral home of wherever it was, and Charlie's in the casket. She's lying prone, I get prostrate and prone. Anyway, she's lying over the casket, and you can hear this. I love you so much. I love you so much. Okay, she's mic'd. They mic'd her up. The camera's over here, and you can hear this. I'm sorry. Cut. What's the matter with that? You didn't get that? Do it again. All right, I got to come in from the top. All right, people, from the top. All right, I'll come in. And people are thinking, this is your husband, and she puts it out. She puts it out. Everybody to see this, and she's got his hand. Poor guy, his hand. I mean, it's like this was my red pill moment. This is when I thought this woman's sick. This is demented. This is crazy. Can you imagine doing that? Your wife, your husband, your kids are now fatherless, and you're saying, "Did you get that, Jerry?" Yeah. What about the lighting? Did we get the lighting? You got my good side? Okay. I love you so much, Charlie. I love you. Are we overmodulating? Did we get that in the truck? Unbelievable. Then 6 days later, after she's devastated, her husband, and I don't mean he had a heart attack. I don't mean he got into a car accident. He was sniped. He's now in the RFK, JFK, MLK. This doesn't happen to people. And you know that word that starts with ass? Only few people can get that. See, if somebody plugs us, we're just eliminated. But to be asked, you've got to be something big. You're stopping a movement. So her husband, 6 days later, you think she shows up, and did you see the leaked Zoom call? She's talking to all the people from TPUSA. Hey guys, hey, why the long face? Let's go, come on, let's party. Let's get that merch going. Come on, how we doing? Come on, hey, Baba Reba. Come on, the hat sales are out. Come on, sell. It's like Glenn Ross. Coffee's for closers. Let's go. Come on, let's go. People are saying this woman, and then afterwards, with the pantsuits and the sparklers and did you see her when JD Vance, and it was like, JD said, look, I'll send the plane, but and Usha probably says, get away. Did you see when she hugged JD Vance? She's like, come here. She said, come here. She's grabbing it. Let go. She was like pulling him in. It was weird. Even Trump's like this. Nah. And then she starts doing this. Now, she's on every show. Good morning, Good Morning Newcastle. She's on every show. I said, shout out to my Geordies. I love them. Anyway, they're just, she's on every show. She's on Fox. And she does this thing where she has this. Now, some people suggest, not I, mind you, but there are some theatrical, you know that when you're in a movie theater, a movie is set, you know how you can cry on command? They do one of two things. They have this thing where there's like a camphor. They'll just blast you with it. And you'll start crying like you can't believe. Oh, you can't cry at one? Okay, watch this. All right, hit it. And you'll be snot and tears, and it's incredible. There's also this theater stuff, this wax where you put it up under your eyes or wherever it is, and it kind of hardens. And then as you start to wipe it away, it's released. And the actors also use this. I'm not saying she did this, but there's one thing I always noticed when she did like this, she never blew her nose. Normally when you're crying, you go, excuse me, I'm Sean, I love them. You don't want to laugh. But people, it's mucosal. Lacrimation's connected to sneezing and it's mucus. I'm sorry. Not her. Not her. Never. And then she does this, Charlie. Oh, Charlie. She goes up like they go, here we go. Hey, she's doing it. She's hitting her post. She's doing it. And I just say, and then she'll make things up. And I remember that one time when Charlie and I it was his honeymoon. And I were at the gym. And I can see people in the truck say, I don't remember this line from the dialogue. What is she doing? She's going off script. What is this? She'll make something up. She'll say something. She's just off. And then somebody later on says, you said you were on the honeymoon. No, that was the next part. Leave her alone. You hate me. No, I don't hate you. No, you brought it up. I didn't. No, it's okay. It's okay. No problem. And they realize, Houston, we've got a problem. This woman just starts talking. Because by God, she is in charge now, all her life, like Hillary Clinton and Michelle Obama. I'm always number two. I'm always number two. Charlie this, Charlie that. What about me? Remember her life story? Did you ever hear that one? Oh, this woman was. Which version do you want to hear of this? This is a woman who says, and she starts making this stuff up. I realized years ago that when I was living in Manhattan, I never drank, I never dated. Then somebody says, wait a minute, you've got a sizzle reel that you put out when you were doing this reality show. She's like this. Hey, she's throwing them back at the boyfriend. You go, what about that? You hateful. I'm a widow. Okay, you're a widow, but you just said, forget what I said. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Then she'll go on, she'll just make stuff up. And then one time she tells this story. I was walking with my mother. Laurie Franz, her mother, I don't know these names. Her name is Franz V. I call her Franz. I don't know what the sound is. It's her name. And she said, and I was walking in Arizona, and somebody came up to me because I was a tomboy. I cut my hair and I loved to play basketball. And somebody came up and says, we need you. Who? Arizona. Me? What do you need me for? We want you to run for Miss Junior Arizona. I'm a tomboy. Okay, I'll do it. First of all, nobody recruits people off the street to do this. These women in pageants, they spend their whole life. Ask women who've done this. I don't know if they do in your country, but here, remember John Benet Ramsey? I mean, a terrible example, but people are just raised. You're not recruited. Even that story didn't make sense. Then she ran this orphanage in Romania. I don't know where that one went. And then she was doing an industrial for like EMPs with like the CIA. And then she who is this woman? So all of a sudden she says, and there I met Charlie. And we were at the Wailing Wall. Where? Wailing Wall. Okay. All right. I see where we're going with this. And I saw him and we don't even remember. I didn't know who he was. Sean, he's 6'5". Everybody knows who Charlie Kirk is. We know it. This woman's like, no. She's got like laser focus. She's like a predator. No. She knows she can't tell the truth because her story is. Remember on SNL years ago, and at that time I was dating Morgan Fairchild. That's the ticket. I say, you're making this up. Yes, but it's my story. So she comes, and even her friends are saying, I don't know what we're going to do with this. So she is over here. Now, enter Candace Owens. Candace Owens is the most popular person, certainly on the internet, there she is. That's one of the pictures. Hello. Fine. I've got nothing against her as a person. Just go away. You ask for this. You came in and you thrust yourself at people, listen to your stories. And then when they say, wait a minute, I don't think shut up. She's a widow. That's another thing too. Have you heard that? She's a widow. She's a widow. God, she's a widow. You know who else was a widow? Jackie Kennedy, Ethel Kennedy, Coretta Scott King, Courtney Love, Yoko Ono. How about Mary Todd Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln's wife, who was a little crazy? They said, you're spending too much. She didn't say, I'm Abraham Lincoln. They killed my Abraham Lincoln. You think they'd give her a pass on the China, whatever she was buying? They gave her grief. Let me say this again. Abraham Lincoln. This is just Charlie Kirk. He was great, though. Our country, Jackie Kennedy, you're marrying him. Aristotle Onassis, you hussy. Ethel Kennedy, you. But Yoko Ono, you. I never knew that. And technically speaking, Diddy is a widower because his first baby mama, whatever, I don't know what happened to her. But so we can't talk about Diddy? Is that how this thing works? It's ridiculous. Because they have nothing there. They have these teams of people. Now, this is aces. She's the Babe Ruth, Muhammad Ali, Pele. She's that Spanish dude who scored by the way, that was in our neck of the woods. That was in New Jersey. That Spanish dude, Candace Owens, is on top of the world. And she never goes after anybody. They come after her. Her friend, Charlie Kirk, was taken out. She owes an incredible allegiance to Charlie Kirk. She wants Charlie Kirk. She wants Charlie Kirk to find out the real killer. By the way, how's the chat doing? I should be looking at this. I hear the chat is hysterical.
They're rejoicing that you're back, Lionel.
Of course. Well, that's up to you. How many times do I ask and you say, look, you're not big enough? You talk to some stoolie from some gang, some prison, whatever it is. Enough of the prison talk. I'm the real thing, my friend. You need me, Atwood. You need me. The kid, of course, because it's true. But anyway, this is the biggest woman. This woman is unbelievable. And let me tell you the difference between her and anybody else. They love her. And let me also say something. And I'm gonna piss some women off. But you know what? And ladies, if you're listening, you know what's true. You know who your number one enemy is? Women. The people who hurt you the most? Women. They double cross you. They backstab you. They are to women. And women don't like women. But women love her. She's their sister, friend, mother superior, confessor. They admire her. Let me also tell you what's so wonderful about this medium of whatever the hell it is we're doing, social media. This is, you look at anything you do, AM Lester, or whatever the hell your shows are. It's always the same thing. Bunch of white people sitting there, and maybe you have the gratuitous black, but they don't mimic. You've got to be cute and pretty and young, and you got to come up. And the number one most powerful person in the world is a black woman. And nobody cares if she's black, woman. Nobody cares. And she's loved by women. This is like, what? Because she's so real. She's just she does something, and I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. There are some things you might have it. Maybe it's mushy peas or whatever the hell you people eat. But ours is macaroni and cheese. And I'll give you an analogy. It's macaroni and it's cheese. And you put it together, and it's the greatest thing in the world. Why? I don't know why. Is it because of the macaroni? I don't know. Is it the cheese? I don't know. But give it to a kid. Give it to Ziggy. He'll love it. Because if a baby loves it, if a kid loves it, it's good. pizza, burgers, ice cream, mac and cheese. It's just Candace's mac and cheese. People just love her. And they will go to the wall for her. And if she ever says storm the Bastille, get out of the way. Look at this. She's the best thing to happen to American truth seekers. Yep. Candace puts it all on the line. It takes cojones to do the yep. Or as we say in West Tampa, C.O. Jones. Absolutely. You see this? This is, they just love. Have you ever seen, like, remember when the Zigster was a little baby? Sometimes you look at somebody and go, nah. And you think, how does he know? You're right. This is a real, but then sometimes he'll go, or a dog will sometimes, I'll forget what you just did. Real professional. Anyway, a dog will come up to you sometimes and say, no, but like you. Like they can sense something. Kids, dogs, people sense the sincerity of Candace Owens. She didn't need this. She goes out and she will fillet you. She will take your cojones, go like this, with a razor, hand them back to you. Here you go. You're not going to be using, you're going to be orchiectomy. You're going to be anarchist. You're going to be sans huevos. You see what I'm saying? She is, there was a movie, you ever see Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise? The first is actually pretty good. Jack Reacher plays this intel guy, and anyway, he kills people and beats them up. He's like 3 feet tall, but still, it doesn't matter. And there's this one scene where these guys want to take him outside to beat him up. And he says, okay, I'll do this. And right before he just makes this guy a eunuch, he says, now remember, you wanted this. And that's my line. Remember, I'll do this. But you wanted this. So people who take on Candace, you wanted this? Okay, you got it. You want a piece of Candace? Go ahead. Knock yourself up. She will eat you up and destroy you. And then all of a sudden, this is interesting too. Here in, I guess in this world, it's funny, we say our country, we're all on this. You never saw this show called Hawaii Five-0, but it was this one character. Cam Fong as Chin Ho says, we're all in this together, brother. It's this weird, this strange Hawaiian, Polynesian brother. All right, brother. He goes, we're all in this. So we're all part of this thing. But in American, I guess, some of these folks came up and they say, I think Candace is promoting conspiracy theories. And they said, what? And then all of a sudden, I said, who? Everybody said, what did you say about her? They had no idea. And I told one guy, I said, remember, you wanted this. You want to be a tough guy? You want to go after her? You want to think she's crazy? This is her friend. This is her friend. And they're thinking, I mean, there is an anger. I don't know what you can say that evokes this. I love her essence, her character, but she's a wonderful person. She's the nicest person. She's just great. And what she does is she does a couple of things. First, sincerity. You buy it, you believe it. And there's one thing, and like you said, be sincere whether you mean it or not. It's hard to tell with you because you'll sit for the longest time and not move. See, most people don't realize you're not even in the room. Sometimes you put a cardboard thing, you're not even there. Sometimes you give the old, my internet froze. No, it didn't. You're not even there. But in your own way, no, I'm being serious about this. People like you. It's not because you're wisdom on that. They like you. Because you're not going to sit there and say, that was a pain in the ass, but he's so informative. No, it's because they like you. They like what you share. They like little things you don't even realize because you're like their friend. You come in, you got this, you interview degenerates. And during the Diddy stuff, you would talk to literally anyone. We're talking to a man right now who is ambulatory schizophrenic. He knows something. There was nobody you would not talk to. There's no such thing as, I'm sorry, we reviewed this, but you don't know anything. Not for the Sean Atwood show. Can you breathe? You have a pulse. You're on. I send you a link. You would talk to anyone. And that's the best part about it. And believe it or not, you would
we give everybody an opportunity.
Oh yeah, well, you would give people hope because say, well, that was pretty good, but this person's crazy. Is this crazy? Or one time you said, I don't remember that guy didn't know anything. I don't know. Okay, well, there you go. We're talking to why is he on? It doesn't matter. But people love it. And they also love when you lose your mind. And I'm telling you, and how many times, for people who don't know this, we always call each other and leave voicemails on WhatsApp or whatever the hell it is. I get them confused. Telegram, never a phone. And I'll call you and say, I'm gonna tell you one damn thing. I'm gonna give you 2 reasons. If anybody ever intercepted, he goes, my God, I think he was. God forbid something happens to you. I hope it never. There was a man that was annoying him, and it sounds like a threat. No, it's not. If only people they think it's a drug code. They can't be serious. What does this mean? What does this mean? Shit kicker. What are they talking about? Is that some drug reference? Is that H? Is that smack? Anyway, but it's who we are, it's who we be, is how we roll. But this is the greatest thing in the world. So let me tell you what they're doing right now. And I want everybody to pay attention. And for those of you who are, from your neck of the woods, I'll speak slower. Alex Jones, said what you want. Say what you want. Was the OG. I love him. He was the man. And I've known him for years, and he is, there ain't nobody like him. He will say things, and you say, all right, this man said that you're going to get gay frogs. And Alex, I think you went too far. He goes, oh yeah, look at this. Gay frogs. He's got the story. It's like, son of a. And we had Sandy Hook, right? It was a thing. He was sued for $1.5 billion. Now, come on. If you don't, they're trying to wipe the guy out. But here's what they're saying. His conspiracy theories are calling into question a terrible moment where parents are, okay, you're right. That is tough when he's saying basically, I never understood that. I don't want to get into that, but I never understood the whole story. I'm not that much of a scholar. But let me ask you this. How many times, Sean, do you think the premise of your particular show has been that something that is enunciated by the way, if you want to sober up, we have the Sean Elwood drinking game. Every time Sean drinks or speaks, have a drink. You'll be looking at this thing like, does that count? Is that a noise? I'm waiting. That was a word. No. Anyway, we'll sober you up real good. But every time what you and I do is we're basically providing a refutation of something somebody believes in. Think about this. They're saying this was, no, that's not what happened. Well, they said, did he do this? No, that's not what happened. Yeah, but it was the lotion parties. Yeah, but that's not what happened. What we do, what anybody who challenges any particular storyline it's a refutation. It's a denial of the narrative that's being presented. Okay. You've talked to people before who don't believe we ever landed on the moon. That's your right. If I don't like it, don't watch. Go ahead. You don't have to watch the show, but if you don't think somebody landed on the moon, okay, that's up to you. Maybe I'm just a country guy. I don't know. I said, fine. He believes it. Okay. Now let's assume somebody says, well, I heard this Atwood show and I believe him. And I think these people were purveying a gross fraud. Okay. And let's say some lunatic goes out and harasses Buzz Aldrin, who I believe is 140 right now. So old he farts dust. Anyway, so I'm going to bother him. Then Buzz Aldrin sues you because they threatened him and said, wait a minute, I didn't say that. He goes, no, but your conspiracy theories led to that. Wait a minute. Anything I say, whether it's Vietnam, whatever your story, who Jack the Ripper was, anything, you invariably involve the refutation and the abnegation and the abrogation of somebody who provides some type of official narrative. That's what we do. Do you know what happens and what Candace is doing is she says, I don't believe the official narrative that Tyler Robinson did this. The same thing, I thought O.J. Simpson killed his wife. They didn't. And when I did it here, they call me a racist. And there's two particular stories you don't know. One was a woman named Casey Anthony. I don't know if you remember about this, but this woman who, her daughter, okay, I said she's going to be found not guilty. Not that she didn't do it, but they're going to find her not guilty because there's no evidence of this, because all they did was they found the skull, and you can't establish homicide. And if you can't establish homicide and a murder prosecution, you're wasting your time. Guess what? They acquitted her. I'm a genius. We had this kid, Trayvon Martin, young black kid. He was killed by this fellow named George Zimmerman. On TV, I said, they're going to acquit him. They thought I was a racist. I said, no, I'm talking about the evidence. The evidence isn't there, because in the state of Florida and some states, you have this thing called stand your ground. Doesn't matter. So what I'm telling you is that, like Candace, she says, no, I don't think we did this. Then they have stories that you cannot believe. How about the car? The car. And let me explain back up a little bit. These people who go through thousands of hours, I don't know who they are, but there was this Dodge Charger or this particular model, this vehicle that was seen. You go, oh, that's Tyler's car. Until somebody said the exhaust pipes, the configuration of the exhaust are different. Then they found other Dodge Chargers. So what is this? So when you pointed it out, because neither the prosecution nor the defense, and I'm wondering about this defense, they're not bringing any of this up. None of it. So that's just one. Then we got somebody who did some research and said, guess what? Because Candace puts out the word, and she has this tips at CandaceOwens.com. So somebody calls up and said, this Tyler Robinson, I'm at a steakhouse or something about 3 hours or an hour and a half, whatever, away. I've got his credit card. He was here. She brings that up. Oh, there you go again. No, there you go again. They don't care about this. They have a narrative that they're going to burn this kid. And let me remind you, we have in Utah, firing squad. What is this? I'd be like with sandbags and the whole bit. This is serious. I mean, so she's bringing this up. Her friends are bringing it up. And I'm telling you, you cannot believe. Oh, Candace has brought up things about Egyptian planes. Why did these people meet at this Fort Huachuca? And she has, as they say, the receipts. Now, I never saw anything like this before. She doesn't just say, you know what I think? He goes, no, this plane with this number was seen flying here and there, and drones. And they will show you how many times the name Tyler James Robinson was looked up or reviewed by the CIA before this happened. All that Google has this. Does the defense do this? Does anybody say, let's get a picture of what's going on? It's a different world. Because if you try something, these sleuths are going to be watching it, and they don't miss a trick. They love this stuff. They love it. And Candace goes, and that's one. Then there are other people who, they have one guy who did 3 hours on the screwdriver. On the screwdriver, were there prints in the screwdriver? Well, this report said there were prints. This report doesn't. This is 3 hours of the screwdriver. That's just one. Somebody else would say, hey, one of those Loch Ness, let me go there. This person walked, he said, I'm 5'10". This person who walked here and he showed this one is 6 feet. Tyler Robinson is not 6 feet tall. These are people on their own. And they're putting they do experiments. Then others come forward, these experts doing ballistic gel to show what a 30-06 does. I've never seen this before. You've got this. So you've got these one people, this first group saying, you know, you're just a conspiracy theorist. It's like, are you listening to anything that's going on here? 10%. Did you know any of this? Sean, do you think, and I don't know who did this, but do you think that either members of the government or the shadow government or dark and nefarious people have ever done something where the ultimate story that was told to people turned out not to be true? Yes.
Consistently.
And it looks just like this. And it took somebody who said, wait a minute, that's not true. When John Kennedy had 3 people, Dorothy Kilgallen, who was found Remember, look up that story. Go online. Dorothy Kilgallen. She was a famous author. She was on a TV show. They found her mysteriously propped up in her. They found her self-harmed. They don't believe that one. She was just about to blow the cover over this Marilyn Monroe thing. There was a guy named Mark Lane. Mark Lane came out almost immediately. He was the first one ever. And then Oliver Stone later on came up with this. Okay. Nobody changed the subject into Dorothy Kilgallen and Mark Lane and Oliver Stone. Now the story is about Candace Owens. I've never heard anything like this. I've never heard where the person who is refuting this, it's about them. Why? Because she's a pole star. She's a magnet. People love her and they hate her and they respect her and they fear her and they love it. You ever had that piece of skin in your mouth? You go, God, and you keep biting it. It's like, God, like, stop biting it. Or a cuticle. It's like, don't pull it. God, stop. It's like, it hurts, but I can't stop pulling it because I'm demented. Quit chewing that thing in your mouth. I can't have it. That's Candace. She drives me crazy. I got to keep watching because she gives me life. It's like, I hate to say it. I'm not trying to make any jokes. Sometimes people who harm themselves try to get some kind of stimulation. She gives more stimulation because they don't know what's going on. They don't know about the World Cup. They don't know about the new UK, nothing. But Candace Owens, they know. And they talk to their friends who equally hate her, but they never have, on the other side, they never say, well, here's why Candace is wrong. On our side, hour upon hour of the most incredibly interstitial minutia I've never seen investigation like this. It's so that's a new thing that's happening. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing talk radio whatever for 38 years. And I thought OJ was great, but OJ was before, social media, and true crime is a big deal. This is true crime. It is, and these people, TPUSA, the most incompetent, bumbling oafs, jadrules, as we say in the Bronx, stupices, idiots, morons, Boeotians. I don't believe they had anything to do with anything. I don't believe for a moment. I don't believe that Erica Kirk had anything to do with anything. They're morons. I don't believe she's a psychopath because she's not smart enough to be a psychopath. People don't know what a psychopath means. That doesn't mean somebody who acts weird. No. Sean, you and I know this. If we want to have something done, first of all, I think we all can say that whoever did this wasn't a rifle. I'm not even sure what the hell they used because we haven't even got the discovery back. We haven't looked to see upon the neck dissection what did they recover? What is this? I found some bullets. Those aren't bullets. That's kryptonite or something. We don't know. But assuming you and I are not going to let people know what we're doing. You want as few people to know as possible and let them talk. And why they even bother with Tyler, I have no idea at all. But let me say something before I forget. There's a document, I think you've heard about this. You can look it up. It's called the CIA document, and it's used by others on how to refute people who did not trust the Warren Commission. And this was before the Zapruder film, which came out like in 75, 70 something on a Geraldo Rivera show. They didn't even see the Zapruder film. This was just people who thought it was BS from the beginning. And the CIA says, here's what you do. First of all, get our Mockingbird, they didn't say this, but our Mockingbird media friends. And who are the Mockingbird media friends? You know who they are, and they're paid. It's all about this, Sean. Not money, this. That's a joke. Anyway, so we get these people. They're out there in droves. You can always, have you ever followed Laura Loomer? See, look at that. See the reaction just now? Just Pepsi. Laura Loomer is, if you like professional wrestling, she's the heel. She's the heel's heel. Somebody took a picture of everyone. Go on Candace's line. By the way, I'm on X at Lionel Media. Lionel Nation on YouTube. Lionel Media on X. Anyway, so on X, somebody took a picture of every tweet that Laura Loomer put out about Candace. Have you ever seen these mosaics where you get closer and closer, like a Mandelbrot fractal? You get closer. You think, my God, there's like 300 of these on one page. They couldn't put them all in. She does 5, 6, 7 a day. I do that in the first hour of the day. But there are people, and people are saying, do you think that there are people who are being paid or out there to basically destroy her? And I'm thinking, well, if she is being paid, she's got a lot of money coming, because this woman will tweet and they don't even tweet good stuff. They say she's psychotic, she's a demon, she's evil. It's nonsense.
Lionel, let me squeeze the question in before the hour.
I'm not done yet. Right,
one question, sir, please.
As many as you want. I'm here for you.
All right. So you've assessed the situation brilliantly, as usual.
Yes.
All of the parallels with JFK we see. It's all in our face, obvious, patsy. Mm-hmm. But we could understand the vested interests when it came to Kennedy, Bay of Pigs, oil companies, military companies, LBJ, etc., the dollars, Allen dollars, etc., CIA, million pieces.
Why him?
Who's the vested interest this time? Because it seems when these vested interests come together to take action is taken. Who did he piss off this time? Is it, I think Candace is talking about his change of heart about Israel.
I got to tell you something. I like when people say, I'll be candid. Well, I hope so. If it is Israel, because he certainly, and a lot of people, Israel, the Republican Party, and don't forget, he was about to unleash this Doge-like review of TPUSA. And a lot of people, God knows the money, I have no idea. If I sat, and I am not in any way a fan of anybody, but if I sat with Bibi Netanyahu and I got wind that they were planning on this, I'm saying, why are you doing this? He's small potatoes. You've got the ICC. You've got a warrant against you. You can't travel. The world is after you. You've got legions. You've got heads of state. You think this guy in Arizona, I don't care how big he is, he's going to do this? He's the least. He's in America. Your problem is the world. Or maybe he might affect the funding of AIPAC. Normally there's a better connection. There's a lot, because somebody can get caught, somebody can, so I don't know if I'm reading too much into this. Then again, there are some people who say, listen, Sean, plausible deniability. If anything happens, you got nothing to worry about. But a lot of people, even though they may not have been involved in it, said, yeah, serves him right. He was a thorn in my side, a stone in my shoe. And I hope that goes. Everybody else, don't mess with us. Even though they did not have anything to do with it. Who knows? Remember, we're standing outside of a stadium, listening to the roar of the crowd and trying to guess the score. We don't know. This thing, we might find it. The hardest thing to do is hit the brakes, hit the circuit breaker. We're not ready to declare culpability, responsibility. Keep that in mind. Too many people, they'll jump too quickly and say, aha, it is one particular source. We don't know yet. A week from now, it might change. And if it ever does change, I'll tell you. But this just started. We can't even, this guy's facing the firing squad for a gun that can't even be linked. We got bigger problems than ultimately who did this in the long run.
Well said. Well said.
Damn right.
Thank you. And viewers, please subscribe to Lionel.
Please.
Channel link. Also, watch the Candace Owens interview on Lionel's channel. All of these links are in the description box. I will collab link this up afterwards. Let me put you
and thank you. And thank your great listeners. God love them. They are so good, so smart. So I'm telling you, I think you're onto something here, Atwood. I think you got a future in this. Call me crazy. I think you're pretty damn good. Slicker than snot on a doorknob.
You better get out of that Alabama swamp and get your ass over to Newcastle.
Please take me there. All right, my brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on, man. So hope to speak soon. Cheerio. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in today and listening to Lionel. Absolutely phenomenal as usual. I can't reiterate enough. definitely watch the Candace Owens interview on Lionel's channel. And we will be back tomorrow with Matthew Steeples. I'm going to be back at 12:30 p.m. UK talking about the French modeling scout Daniel Sayad, who has been unalived. This is part of the Epstein apparatus. He's been unalived. I'm just looking at Ryan Dawson's X right now. Jess Staley is set to be questioned by Congress tomorrow for his role at JP Morgan facilitating Epstein's hush money and cash withdrawals used to pay for the beep, beep, beep. But the only news you will find on search engines about human transportation is about the Tate, blah, blah, blah. Yep, so Staley is going to be in the news big time tomorrow, but I think we might be live before that happens. So we might have to come back to do something on that. All right, I think Ron's got another show this evening with Barbara, the ex-model. Let me just have a quick check. It's not scheduled yet, but it's on the spreadsheet. So it might be a show this evening with Barbara, the ex-model. And Guy Anderson is back next week. And he's bringing on Richard Willett with him this time to talk about secret societies, including Skull and Bones and Sabbatean Frankism. All right, lots more good stuff coming up. I got to go and pick up baby Ziggy. Have a great day wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in.